Hey everybody! This is a new section on my channel, which I decided to call Head to Head. The point is simple, we take two soccer players and find out who is better. We will rate by following parameters: speed, value, goals, assists, trophies, individual trophies, passes, defending, physical, media, dribbling, national team. And for the first edition, I decided to choose the youngest Mbappe and Haaland, who are called the next generation of the great Messi and Ronaldo. After a fantastic season from Haaland, he is being recognized by many as the best in the world right now. Let's find out if this is true. Speed. Mbappe is called the fastest player in the history of soccer. The Frenchman at this peak can reach a speed of 23.61 miles per hour. No surprise why he's considered the fastest. You just look at his run in the match against Argentina at the World Cup in 2018. He dribbled the ball between two defenders, and they still run after him by energy. But it is absolutely useless, and but Marcus Rocha realized that is the end. At the last moment, hit the Frenchman. At the moment at Euro 2020, when Mbappe on difficult arc around Hummels, as a strengthen and breaks out with the ball to the goal, well, it is incredibly fast. Also, our words are confirmed by the simulator of FIFA, where Mbappe has the highest score of the speed, namely 97. Even with all of the above said about Mbappe, you can't say that Haaland runs much worse. Last season in Premier League, Haaland managed to break into the top 4 in terms of running speed, with his top speed standing at 22.4 miles per hour. And as Borussia Dortmund, Haaland was constantly ranked one of the best sprinters. What is worth, his runs from his own to penalty box, which in the Bundesliga from him were commonplace. But still, let's turn to the simulator FIFA to see how they estimated the speed of the Haaland, and it amounts to 91, which is also not bad, but doesn't reach the level of Mbappe. So in this round wins the Frenchman. Transfer value. Kylian Mbappe is one of the most expensive players in the last 5 years. During this period of time, his transfer value hasn't fallen before 160 million euros. The biggest jump in the transfer value happened in 2017, when his transfer value jumped from 4 million to 90 million. It was due to the championship of Monaco and the transfer to PSG. At the peak, Kylian Mbappe cost all 200 million euro, and at the moment Kylian is worse, 180 million euro, and don't plan to reduce in value. Haaland has a little different situation. Until 2019, no one even knew who Erling Haaland was. But an incredible performance in the Champions League for Red Bull Salzburg allowed his price to rocket from 5 to 80 million euro in just 6 months. Erling is constantly growing, and Manchester City were very lucky to see him for just 60 million euro, with a market value of 150 million euro. Already at the time, Erling was one of the most expensive players on the planet, and his market value peaks at 180 million euros. Right now, we are tied in this round. Goals. Here we come the most interesting point. Kylian Mbappe during his professional career has managed to play in 322 matches and scored 231 goals, 183 of which he scored from outside the penalty area. So Kylian's success rate is 0.72 goals per game. Kylian has also taken 1071 shots on goals, and the number of shots per game is 4.63. Erling Haaland has only 172 games in his career, and he scored 158 goals. 112 of which were scored from outside the penalty area. Haaland also scored 0.91 goals per game and needs just 3.3 shots to score a goal. So, Haaland's win on this point. Assists. Our players rarely give assists because they like to take over and score themselves. But let's compare the two players. So obviously Kylian has spent a lot of time on the wing and should have accumulated more assists than Haaland. So Mbappe has given 91 assists in his career, while Haaland has only 31, but Erling has less matches. So let's take a look at the detailed statistic. It says that Mbappe usually gives 0.28 assists per game and Haaland only 0.18. Mbappe has clearly won this point. Trophies. Mbappe, who plays for PSG, has won many domestic trophies in his career. Namely, Mbappe has won 6 Champions of France, 3 times winning of the Cup of France and Super Cup of France, 2 times winning of the French League Cup. In the national team, Mbappe managed to win the Nations League, and the trophies that Mbappe most honors in his collection is the World Cup. Haaland has something to answer for such an abundance of trophies. He is the winner of the German and English Cup, the winner of the English Championship, UEFA Super Cup and the Champions League. That's the end of the Erling trophies. Mbappe wins this round by a huge margin. Individual trophies. Among the significant awards of Kylian Mbappe can be highlighted the following: top scorer of the World Cup 2022, best scorer of the French Championship 5 times, winner the Golden Boy award once, went to the Champions League symbolic team and twice to the World Cup best players team. Haaland has something to counter all these awards. Mbappe Erling have Player of the Season in Bundesliga, winner Golden Boy twice, best soccer of Champions League, best striker according to UEFA, winner the Golden Boot of the Premier League and UEFA Golden Boot. Of course, you argue that Mbappe has more awards, but all these awards are mainly received in France, where only he can campaign with Mbappe on the level. And Haaland has award in the competitive championships. And in my opinion, in this round Erling Haaland won. If you disagree with my opinion, you can write about it in the comments. Passes. In order to rate this point, we need to understand why such numbers are taken at expense of. Mbappe usually makes 28 passes per game, and the accuracy of these passes is 81%, which is not bad. Erling in turn makes 14.2 passes per game, with an accuracy of 71%. At the same time, Haaland has 0.79 passes per game, while Mbappe has 1.48. In this point, of course, Mbappe won, but still won't blame. What's the reason of such difference in numbers? With the arrival of Haaland in Man City, he became a pure forward, but at the same time working in the pressing, which is not so often met with the ball. Mbappe, on the other hand, performed the function of pulling the ball to the other side penalty box, which is the reason for such a huge difference. Defending. Today we compare the two strikers, but talk about their defense, which is also an important aspect of the game. Let's start with the tackles. Mbappe usually makes 0.3 tackles per game. Haaland's total is 0.2 per match. Interceptions players make with the same periodically of 0.1 per match. But on falls, the average of Mbappe is 0.5 vs 0.9 for Haaland. But Erling is strong in clearance, 0.6 vs 0.1 per game. This is not surprising because Haaland's highest is 195 centimeters. Physics. Kylian's height is 178 centimeters and weight is about 70 kilograms. Not the most powerful indicators, but Mbappe still tried to do in the gym. According to the story of French national footballer, after the lost final of the World Cup in 2022, the next day already trained in the gym in order to get in the shape and come to the location of PSG ready. Haaland has perfect body data, 195 centimeters tall and weighs about 90 kilograms. Haaland's idol is Cristiano Ronaldo, so don't be surprised that Erling is just crazy about training and proper eating. One day when Haaland was a still teenager, he decided to copy the training routine and diet of Ronaldo and follow it after, which he turned for a study boy into a physical powerful Viking. Since then, Haaland sleeps according to the timetable. He can constantly be seen with a carrot in his teeth. And Haaland also wears special glasses to normalize sleep. So, in this round, the clear winner is Erling Haaland. Media. Kylian Mbappe is one of the most popular players in the soccer. This is mainly due to his soccer life, in particular his incredible performance in the Champions League for Monaco, almost record transfer to PSG, the most expensive player of our time. All this add up to the popularity of Kylian Mbappe. Also don't forget the non-soccer life Mbappe, who constantly attends different social events and very well runs his Instagram account, which has already accumulated 107 million followers. Erling Haaland is a player who with his records makes the public talk about him. And more people are learning about his existence. Mainly, Erling becomes the most popularity when he moved to Manchester City and won the Champions League in first season. But the player isn't yet as popular as Mbappe, has only 35 million followers on his Instagram account. This can be due to the fact that PSG is a brand that many people use as everyday clothes from here, and more popularity of Kylian. But the main reason is his producers, who help to see him not as a footballer but as a brand. Dribbling. Dribbling and play with the ball is one of the fundamental points of Kylian Mbappe game. He used dribble in almost every episode. So, since his 322 matches, he has managed to make 1,574 dribbling attempts, 810 of which were successful, which is a rate of 51% of successful dribbling. Kylian's favorite move is throw the ball forward and run. Haaland in turns isn't often used dribbling, only 217 attempts in 172 games. All this is due to the fact that Haaland played more in the penalty area and moves the ball less in attack. For him, it is done by beautiful Kevin De Bruyne. Don't think that Haaland was a bad dribbling. Out of his 217 attempts, they will success 110 of them, and the rate of successful dribbling, 50%, is only 1% less than Kylian Mbappe. Yeah, Of course, it seems that Kylian Mbappe is dribbling more technical and gravely better than Haaland, but this feeling is only when Mbappe takes on more and dribbles more often, and the efficiency of the dribbling is simply more than Haaland's. National team. Mbappe represents one of the strongest generation of the Frenchmen of all time. The French have such strong players that if we split team into two teams, they will both end up in the semi-final of the World Cup. For the last 4 major tournaments, they played in the 3 finals, but won only one, taking the World Cup. And Mbappe played 70 matches, scored 40 goals, and gave 24 assists. As for Haaland, he plays for a very modest Norwegian national team, which has never won anything. But the Erling statistics is great: 25 matches, 24 goals and 3 assists. But still it's difficult for him to compete with Mbappe, who with his goals give the results. Today Mbappe was stronger than Haaland, winning 8-6. This is the end of this video. Put likes, write comments and subscribe on my channel. Thank you for watching, dear guys. Goodbye.